is this really like a rap battle? Just some personal shit between two major artists that just went viral, basically.
There's some personal shit between
Yeah.
two artists that went viral. Honestly, I am a Kendrick fan. Like how Niger's a Drake stan, I am a Kendrick fan. Like that was the artist you know, fell in love with, by myself first. Good Kid, Mad City dropped on my 14th birthday, I believe, or 13th. So
Okay.
it has a special place inside my heart. He just as an artist does too, with certain storytelling aspects. But I was disappointed in this battle the whole
Mm.
time, fully
Mm.
through.
Go
He wasn't
ahead. Tell
giving
us
me what
why.
I
Interesting.
wanted.
Speak on it, brother.
Um, I just feel like he talked a big game for some years now, and like Robbie May said earlier, like Drake was winning. He was winning, and I was worried the whole time from the start. I heard push-ups. I'm like, watch Drake win this whole battle. If it wasn't for Not Like Us, he really wouldn't have won. And honestly, I did feel like it was a cheap throwaway. Do I like the song? Yeah. Do I dance to the song? 100%. I mean, it got that bop to it, but it lacked a lot of things like the addressing of what Drake was saying to you, or really just like tearing him apart. Because that's kind of what I wanted to happen, and what I thought would happen. And with the tracks Euphoria, Not Like Us, even the one he did on Instagram, 616 in LA, I just felt like everything was kind of just like it's not like he wasn't
Even
giving
Meet the
me great
Grams.
raps. Like uh
Mm.
Meet the Grams, that had the shock factor. It was the
Yeah.
timing and what he dropped it that gave him the swing in the battle, and then him just dropping Not Like Us immediately after before Drake could even say anything. He was just
Mm.
playing chess and Jake was playing checkers. He was just staying true and trying to like just rap. And Kendrick was like, "Nah, I'm gonna trap him. I'm gonna put him in a trap." And that's exactly what he did. And I think that's why he won. I also think this battle was just bigger than what it's probably the biggest commercial battle, but
Mm-hmm.
not the biggest hip hop battle. And I think it's just because you going after Drake and he's number one artist at that time.
Mm.
Um, you called him out unprovokedly on Like That on that Future record, my Future and Metro Boomin record. He had just dropped the album. Someone on your last label was on that album. There was just a whole lot of things. I think it was a lot of politics per se.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just Kendrick made the right moves to be where he's at right now. But I
Mm.
don't think anybody won that battle. And
Okay.
if it kept going, I
Wow.
think Drake could have probably beat him.
That's interesting. I
So
like
so
that's
basically
interesting.
Drake could end up
And
actually
I'm saying,
winning
and he's
the
actually, he
war.
really is. He really
He
is
gonna win the war then.
Kendrick's
Because
fan. He fucks with Kendrick hard too. He fuck with Kendrick.
right, right. So you said Drake could actually win the war when it's all said and done, like maybe 2 years from now.
Nah, I think
Because
it's
because if
done.
Drake
Honestly,
keep dropping albums,
I
no,
think
I'm
it's
I'm
done.
serious. If
It's
Drake keep
done.
yes,
dropping
I
albums,
do
No, I
I
got.
do see it happening because Nigel brought up a good point to me the other day. Anything to combat it, even though in my heart I wanted to. Um, it's just the fact that Kendrick will now, in my opinion, like he's done everything when it comes to I mean he's a really thorough hip hop artist in my opinion. Great raps all the time. I enjoy the albums. He always is at his base when it comes to rapping, at least. Um, but I feel like we will kind of remember this Not Like Us situation and him being paired with Drake. And I think over time, as Drake drops new music, especially even seeing this, like yeah, Drake didn't drop no hip hop album last Friday, but he dropped like an R&B joint with his
Yeah, I got a
artist
question
Party,
about that, but I'm gonna save that
and
till Niger finish gets her point in. So
and I feel like even just seeing the sway on like social media, like obviously you're gonna see certain things, you're gonna be on a certain side, like people love the album, people hate the album, but and I've seen some instances where people like, oh, Kendrick made him drop this album, this quote unquote terrible album with people who don't like it. But I feel like Kendrick will kind of have that stench of Drake versus Drake being able to get out of that the same way he kind of got out of that with Pusha. I think that situation could possibly happen, leaving Kendrick the loser versus Drake in the long
Mm, that's interesting.
Interesting.
That's
I like
That's
that.
interesting.
so
Yeah.
crazy. That was my point. But go ahead.
Go ahead. What's your point
No, we
about the
want to hear
song?
your point. We heard you in the background.
run. I gave
Oh,
Speak.
you your big ups.
um,
I told you that's
that
what
was
you
my
said, and
yeah, that
I
was
agree
mine.
with you.
No, Not Like Us is not the greatest rap dish ever, like at all. Um, I kind of agree with Tristan that I don't really think anybody won. I think this definitely was deeper, and there's yeah, you just made me think, Tristan, like how politically like this actually looks with SZA being on the record with Drake just like a couple months before, and how Kendrick has taken the leg up in this commercially. TDE's done well. It just put all of them in like better positions by him winning and then figuring out a way to beat Drake at his own game, which is making a hit and making the hit be also the diss record. So it's like you win both things that Drake can't always achieve, which is getting a hit and getting hip hop's validation at the same time.